All right. I think I'm live. I think I'm live. Don't know. Have to wait for people to get in here to confirm if they can hear me or not. Hopefully, somebody's here watching and can tell me if they can hear me. Is anybody here? Anybody hear me? Well, I guess while I wait for people to show up, I'll just start rambling about random stuff and then I'll get into Kim Goguen. So basically, I've had a pretty rough year, to say the least. And that's putting it mildly. Um, it's been a really rough year. And I'm trying to end it on a positive note. I'm trying to end it on a positive note. But I've had some recent things happen in my life that have really turned my world upside down. And they've made it difficult to move forward and focus on what I'm trying to do. And I am trying my hardest to get through this stuff that I'm dealing with. But it is so hard. It's like when you have something happen in your life and you were not ready for it, kind of wakes you up and makes you start thinking about everything. And you just really start to wonder what's the point of all of this? You know? You just start thinking, yeah, everything's good, everything's positive, or you're trying to be positive. And then things just keep getting more negative. And then you reach a breaking point and then you're just like, what is going on? I know a few weeks ago I made a video talking about Kim saying that the energy was shifting more positive, and I did feel something at that time. I did feel like I was getting more positive, I thought. And just certain people in my life that I've been dealing with who I trusted and I thought were there for me or whatever, they turned out to not be so trustworthy. And it's something that I'm learning the hard way because, and it's funny too, I want to say I'm learning it again because I've had a pretty rough life. And I've always known not to really put my trust in anyone. And for a long time, I've been doing pretty good at that. But last year, I let my guard down. And I started, like, once I got on YouTube and I started to be more social with people on YouTube, started to get to know people and put out content, I started to let my guard down a little bit. And I started letting people into my life that posed as friends or whatever. And those people turned out to be not so much as what I thought they would be. And I want to say since July, well, actually about April, May, things really started going down when I lost my original channel. And a part of that was because I was dealing with certain people in my life. And I wasn't feeling like doing my channel anymore. So I kind of ended that channel. And it was pretty bad. I lost all my subs and all this other stuff. I already talked about it on this channel. And then I took a break from the internet. And I wasn't looking at anything online. I basically disappeared from the internet, and I was just dealing with people in my life. And I didn't make any videos. I didn't make a new channel for a while. I didn't care about what was going on in the world. I didn't look at anything that was going on in the world. I didn't care about anything. I was just focused on my personal life. I come back and I say, all right, I want to try this again, but this time I'm not going to let anything stop me or slow me down. And yeah, that's not been going as well as I thought. But the difference, I guess, between before and now is that I'm not giving up. Before I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to give up. Now I'm like, no, I'm not giving up no matter what. Even though it's difficult to continue, I'm still going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep going. And that's why I've been making these last few videos where I talked about how life is hard and I'm dealing with stuff. But I want to say since July until basically this weekend that just passed, it's been extremely difficult for me to, and even after, right? Because I'm still dealing with certain things. Like I'm not completely recovered from the things that have happened. I'm still like, did this really happen? And why did it happen like that? It's like when you try to do everything in your power to be good to people and they backstab you, they lie to you, they deceive you, they hurt you, and they don't care if they hurt you. Stuff like that, right? And that's why I don't trust humans, and that's why I am the way that I am. That's why sometimes you guys will hear me snap, or you're like, why is this guy have such a bad attitude or whatever? It's because I've dealt with a lot of crap in my life, and humans are very untrustworthy. And at least for me, I can't speak for anyone else. Everyone has their own life to live. Everyone has their own personal experiences, right? Right? But for my life, personally, the more that I trust people, the more they end up backstabbing me and hurting me. That's what I've learned from being a human. And anytime that I act the way that I'm supposed to act, which is my true self, which is not a nice guy, that's when things go my way. So I think for the new year coming up, I'm probably just going to be the way that I really am. And some of you may like that. Some of you may not like that. It might turn some of you off and you might be like, I didn't come here to watch this guy act like a crazy guy, right? Or some of you might be like, well, maybe this is what we need, right? We need somebody to be this way because everybody and you got to really think about how the world works, right? The world is controlled and run by evil people. Even with Kim doing all the stuff that she says she's doing, right? The world is still controlled and run by evil people. That's something you can see with your eyes. You can verify that, right? You don't need proof of that. Just open your eyes and look around and see how messed up the world is. That's all you need to do. Simple. Anybody can see this. They're the ones that are on top. Why? Because all the nice people acquiesce to the whims of the evil ones. That's why we're in the mess we're in now. The nice people always get taken advantage of. That's the raw truth. That's the real truth. Whether you like that or whether you want to hear that or not. The good people always get taken advantage of. Nice guys finish last, right? So those things that I just said perfectly match my life. Because anytime I've been a nice guy and I try to work with people, I try to be cool with people, I try to give people what they want. I try to love people. I try to be nice to people. All these things that I try to do to go out of my way to be something that I'm not, it always backfires on me. Always, every single time. But when I am my real self and I say fuck everybody, I'm just going to do what the fuck I want. That's when my life goes the way I want. Every single time. Never fails. Never fucking fails. So again, I'm highly considering starting from next year, or maybe even sooner than that I'm just going to be like, fuck everything and everybody, and I'm just going to be myself, and people can like it or they cannot like it. But I always go back and watch my old videos, and I listen to myself talk, and I'm like, this isn't how I am. Like, this isn't really me. I'm doing this, and I have to give credit to the people that come to my channel, right? Because a lot of you people have rubbed off on me, because you're very good people. And that's a good thing. I'm not telling you guys how to be. Be however you want to be. I've had a lot of good people come by. And that's part of the reason why I am softer and nicer than I used to be on my old channel. On my old channel, I was a dick. I was a real asshole. I did not give a fuck about shit. If you said some dumb shit to me that I didn't like, I crushed your ass on the spot. But I've been a lot more lenient on this channel because, like I said, most of the people that watch me are good people. So why would I be mean to people that don't deserve it? You get what I'm saying? I don't like doing that. So I don't think it's right for me to snap on people that have been good to me, right? I don't, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. There have been a couple of people that I have snapped on that maybe I shouldn't have. But I was having a bad day. They caught me on a bad day. And I said some stuff and I was like, man, I feel bad about it. Everybody does it, right? You have a bad day, somebody says something to you don't like, next thing you know, you snap. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you that that's what happened, and I feel bad about it. I've tried to apologize to those people. I try to talk to them again. But sometimes you can't fix things, right? They go their way, I go my way. It is what it is, you know? But I don't think you guys came here to hear me ramble about my personal life. So I'm going to kind of stop there. I think, I've rambled on for 10 minutes. I'm going to start talking to people in the chat and addressing whatever points you guys make, whatever you guys want to talk about. Just give me a second. Hello, Deborah Hall. You said, your journey is the same of all humanity. Turn the eye to we are all one. We are all suffering. The kingdom of God is within. You are stronger than the way you act. You're not a victim. Deborah, I know you're saying that out of the kindness of your heart. And I'm sure you believe that. And I'm sure you mean that. But I've tried to apply that same logic. And I've tried to be strong and just like, oh yeah, whatever. Everybody deals with problems. Everyone has problems. But I have specific kind of problems. And if I had to be honest with you, and you may not like this, or whoever's watching may not like this, sometimes I feel like the whole entire universe is against me, or the divine, or God, or source, or whatever you want to call it, right? That's why I'm not a big believer. Like, I made a video talking about I don't give my power to anybody or any God or any entity outside of myself. And I believe that's part of the reason why my life is the way that it is because I'm very rebellious. Very rebellious. Probably the most rebellious soul in the entire universe, as far as I know. And because of that, and I don't like to follow rules or laws or whatever, things are extra hard. Things are like what you just said there, right? You probably believe that and you probably follow that and you probably live your life that way. I don't follow that logic. So guess what happens to me because I don't do that? I get punished for it. That's just the way it works. And I deal with it, right? I deal with it either by doing what I just did, rambling on for 10 minutes about it, or I talk to friends or whatever. There's like one dude, two dudes that probably understand what I'm saying completely because they've known me for a long time. But, most people just don't understand. And it's hard for me to, I would have to sit here and tell you my whole entire life story for you to fully get what I'm saying. And I'm not about to do that. So I apologize if what I'm saying isn't coming out clear. But it is what it is. It's just the way I feel right now. And I do appreciate you trying to be kind and give me some positive words. But I don't ever feel like there's a we. I always feel like there's an I. And I'm always by myself. So I'm sorry. I'm not following that. That's just me. That's the way I am. That's the way I've always been. I don't belong in any group. I don't belong in any crowd, any religion, any political party. None of that. I'm on nobody's team but my own. And I've been very clear about that with people that come by here. I support certain people like Kim Goguen or whatever, right? And I love her followers and viewers because they're great people, right? Most of the people that follow Kim Goguen are awesome. Those are the best people I've met on the internet. No doubt about it. And I enjoy those conversations that I have. So I do support that community. But I am not part of that community and I'm not in that community. Like, I've had people to tell me, go to the Telegram chat. I've gone there and I see how the people are there. And I'm not one of those people. I don't fit into that crowd. I'm not part of that crowd. I'm not going to go there and mingle. That's just not something that I do. I'll watch what people say, but most of the time, I don't know what they're talking about. They're talking about types of stuff that has nothing to do with me, really. That's why I try to just focus on Kim and what she's saying. And, I prefer people talk to me on this channel about whatever they want to talk about. If you want to talk about Kim, cool, we'll talk about Kim. But as far as me going to Kim's chat or care or anything like that and being part of the community, that's just not something that I'm going to do. Like, I'll check it from time to time, but that's as far as it goes. But yeah, I watched the Circle of White Light radio interview that Kim had, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And I also watched the latest UN reports. And Kim was saying a lot of things. She's very that's it's funny because people get confused about Kim, right? And Kim is very careful with her words. When she speaks, she she doesn't try to deceive people or trick people. She tells you exactly what she feels or what she's trying to tell you. So if people misunderstand something she said or they didn't get something they thought they were going to get, first of all, like I've had people come and say, "Oh, well, Kim said we were going to get the assurance and the money in our banks and this, that, and the other." And I'm like, well, that's part of your problem right there to begin with. You're watching Kim for money. And maybe you're down bad, right? And you really need the money or something. So you're like, oh man, hopefully she gives us this money. Now, I will say maybe it was a little bit premature for her to promise people all this stuff and she's not able to deliver. I'll say that to be fair, right? But I don't watch Kim for money. I don't watch Kim for what she can do for me. I watch Kim because I'm going to be honest, I find her to be entertaining and I find her to be extremely intelligent. And most of the things that she says make sense with how the world works. So if I see somebody that's speaking what I deem to be the truth, right? Like I'm like, okay, this sounds like the truth. If I look at the world and I apply what she says to the world, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I see how that could be. And most of the things she says make sense, right? So that's why I support her. But I don't support her because I'm waiting for assurance or money in my bank, right? I'm not waiting for that. And Kim, in the Marina interview, she said she said a couple of things. One thing she wrote on the board, she was like, "I am not your savior," because people were asking about the assurance, and then her and Marina were both saying, "If you want this money, you have to go get it yourself. Like you have to." Kim said, "You don't need me. You can go do it yourself. Just figure out how to get the money. Like have access to it." Now, granted, it's most likely more difficult to do than the way she's putting it, right? But the way her and Marina made it sound is, if you really want it, you can get it. But I've heard other people talk too in life, and they're like, well, if you have a positive mindset and you really want something done, you'll get it done. Now, I know I've had stretches in my life where I was really positive and I was able to get what I wanted. So I know that it works, but I didn't do it because of any training that I found online or anything like that. I was just focusing my mind on positive things. I was watching positive videos. I was reading positive knowledge, evolutionary knowledge, just doing research on good things. And then I started to notice that I was like, oh man, if I want this, it'll happen. If I want that, like anything I wanted to do or wanted to happen, it would happen. And I was very much in control of my life at that time. This happened a long time ago, by the way, but it happened for a little bit. And I know that it can be done. I just haven't been able to get back to that. But I'm kind of trying to do that now. It's just that this last year, 2022, was so... I don't wish it upon my worst enemy. Let's just say that. It was just a bad year for me. One of the worst for sure. But I'm rambling, so if anybody wants to say anything, if anybody wants to talk, I'm going to let more people come in. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. And if anybody wants to say anything, you're free to talk and say whatever. And I'll be back and I'll read your messages. All right, I'm back. Apologize for that. So, if anybody's watching and they want to say anything, that would be great. Um, but yeah, um, I think Kim is trying to teach people how to be independent. I think that's the main thing that she's trying to teach is how to be sovereign, right, and stand up for yourself, and you know, be your own savior, basically. Because everybody, for the most part, on this planet has been programmed to be in the mindset of looking for a savior, right? Everybody's like, oh, I need a savior. I need somebody to do something for me. But nobody really wants to do it themselves, right? So I think that's why I like him, because she's trying to teach people to be independent and take care of yourself and do things for yourself. Granted, it's very difficult in the world that we live in, but she's trying to do things behind the scenes to make it easier for everybody. At least that's what she says, right? So I think that's worth following, right? At least her message, even if you don't believe she's doing all these things, her message is positive and it's inspiring to try to do these things and try to live for yourself and do good for the world, right? And that's why I believe in her and her followers, and I talk about her all the time because she's one of the few people out there that I actually believe is genuine in terms of her message. There are other people I used to follow, but like Carrie Cassidy, but she's kind of a little bit diluted with the whole Trump cute thing and Juan O'Savin and JFK and all this other nonsense she talks about. So I kind of had to stop watching her. Haven't watched her in a long time. The last time I watched Carrie was when she interviewed Kim. I think it was in March or something. I don't know. It's a long time ago though. But yeah, is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? Uh, it's a bunch of stuff going on in the world now, crazy stuff. I'm gonna probably go for an hour. If you're in the chat, don't be shy. Just say whatever you want to say. It says I have 3 people watching, but nobody's saying anything. Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna talk to myself. I was kind of anticipating people showing up and talking, but looks like today is a dead day. There's not anybody talking. Don't let my negative view on things make you shy, right? If you want to talk, talk. Just because I've had a bad year doesn't mean people should be afraid to talk to me. Hey, what's up, High Caliber? What do you think about Kim saying we're going to be hit with Gus Light soon? Hey, High Caliber, I know you sent me something about Carrie Cassidy. The thing about Carrie, I wanna address that because I never addressed that with you. She's very up and down and wishy washy. Like she'll come out with all this bravado against the white hats and Juan O'Savin and this and that. She'll act like, oh, you guys need to get your act together. You need to do this. You need to tell the people what's going on. Carrie does this like every month or every 2 months or 3 months. She'll do this little bravado where she's like acting like she's being hard on the white hats or whatever. And that's just what she's doing just for a show. Like she doesn't really believe it because if she did, she would know they're full of crap by now. And she keeps on following the same people. And she hasn't changed at all. She's still saying the same stuff for the most part, following the same people. So I did see that thing that you sent me. I checked it out and same old Carrie to me. Like that's what she does, man. I've been watching her for what, over 10 years. So I know how she is. I know how she acts. She used to be pretty straight up like before she started talking about Trump. But once she jumped on that Trump train, she's been wishy-washy at best. And it's unfortunate because she was one of the leading, she still kind of is one of the leading and most important people in the alt movement, but she's fallen off a lot. But as far as Kim and her talking about God's light hitting us, that's another thing I want to address. And, you know, some of Kim's people may not like me saying this, but I don't like that she calls source God. I actually prefer the word source, but I know why she's doing it, right? Because a lot of people, you know, that's how they identify source. They identify source as God. But the problem with that is when you use that terminology, it makes people think that everything in the Bible is legitimate, right? So anytime anything that God says in the Bible, and you know, when people read that, they think, oh, well, she's talking about God from the Bible. And those people that are religious, they're not going to understand that she's talking about source. They're going to be like, oh, she means the God in the Bible. So even though I know why she's doing it, it's not actually going to work out in the way that she thinks. And I know, and I'm sure she knows too, but she's trying to work with people, right? She's trying to do her best. But you're not going to fix those people. They're going to believe in their God, and they're completely done. Like religious people are religious people. They're going to all like there's only one person I've ever talked to in my entire life, and I've talked to thousands and thousands of people, and there's only one of them that I've ever met that could read, and it's not just people that I've talked to, people that I've seen online, people that I've studied, whatever. It's only one person that I know that read the Bible and understood it the way it was meant to be understood, meaning he dropped all the garbage from the Bible and kept all the good parts. Only one person. And that's it. There's nobody else that I've met that can do that, unfortunately. People read the Bible, they get stuck on it. But as far as God's light and source's light or whatever hitting us, we'll wait and see. Like I said in one of my videos, most of the things that Kim says are wait and see. Wait and see. Let's see if this happens. Let's see if that happens. Right? And hey, wait and see. I don't know. The way she's been speaking lately, like I would say in the last couple of weeks, has been very definitive. Meaning she's very confident in what she's saying, and she believes that things are going to happen. She's very much like, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. And I don't think I've ever heard her be this confident or this firm with what she's saying. So if that's true, then we're going to see it, right? You're going to feel it. You're going to see it. Things are going to start happening. But again, it's a wait and see thing. So I talked about the first initial thing. I think it was early November where she was talking about the energy shifting. And I did feel it a little bit. But again, I felt it. But then things started to go really bad for me. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. She did talk about things being harder for people now because a lot of old memories and bad energy and trying to clear energy and stuff like that. So I'm definitely feeling the negativity. I'll say that. I'm not feeling too much positivity. Not since that little spark that I felt in early November. Ever since then, it's been downhill since then. And then you said, when she said God source, that is the one true creator. We have to be careful not to say God because it can mean a different God unintentionally. That's my whole point. It's that most people that hear the word God, they automatically assume she's talking about whatever God their Bible or Quran or whatever talks about, right? And that's why I don't like saying God. Because God is just a human. God is an evolved human. That's all God ever has been. The term was created to represent a human that has higher knowledge and more evolution than a normal human would have. That's what makes them a God. It's a very powerful human. That's what God means. But compared to the source or the creator or creation, it's not equivalent. So the word is incorrect. And God is pretty much a human term. It's something that was created on this planet. So you go outside of this planet, no one's going to be saying God. No other races in the universe say God because they know better. So it is what it is. But I just don't like her using that term. And I'm going to stick by that, whether people like what I have to say or not. And you said, can't believe she actually gave a date and time. Yeah. Well, she's been doing that a lot. And that's why I've had people come and complain to me about her and say, well, she said this was going to happen. She said that was going to happen. This didn't happen and that didn't happen. Like on my old channel, I had somebody really get into it with me because they had a YouTube channel. And me and this guy were going back and forth. And he was so upset because he's like, well, she said this was going to happen by this day. And it didn't happen. And then this. I was like, dude, take it or leave it. That's the way I see it. Most of the things that I see Kim say, I'm like, take it or leave it. You going to believe it or not? I think for the most part is like what she's trying to do is positive, right? So I'm like, well, why would I leave it, right? She's trying to do a good thing. She seems to be on the right side. So I'm not going to bash her if she's trying to do the right thing. Then you said, it's time the word amen. No, you said it's like the word amen. It actually is a pledge to a deity, Amen. So don't say amen anymore. I never say it. I haven't said it since I was a kid, where I was forced to go to church and, read the Bible and all of that stuff. And then as I got older, I was like, I've said it jokingly, right? But as far as actually praying and believing that word has any real meaning to me, no, I don't say that word. So if anybody says that, I mean, you believe what you want to. It's up to you. You said, I'm excited about the light coming, so we'll see. Yeah, we will. But again, I don't know when. I just feel so down, I'm going to be honest with you. And I don't know when I'm going to start to feel good again. I am struggling. I feel like my heart has been taken out of my body. That's what I feel like. That's what I felt like for a while. But I've been trying to go through it. It is what it is. Life is what it is. That's all I can say. But hopefully whatever she says is happening happens and I feel it and then I can get over this negativity that I'm feeling. Wow. I had like 8 people show up earlier and a few of them left, I guess, when I took my little break. So anything else you want to talk about, High Caliber? Or yeah, I'm excited, but not excited. And what I mean is I want it to happen, but I'm not like jumping for joy. I'm not like, oh my God, I can't wait. I'm just like, okay, hopefully it happens. I'm that kind of excited, right? But yeah, I would talk about other stuff, but because my original title to this video was like Elon Musk is leaving Twitter as a CEO, but nobody cares about Elon Musk. Like nobody watches those videos that I make about Elon, but everybody watches Kim Goguen videos. So it doesn't matter who I talk about. People want to watch me talk about Kim. I don't know why. I can talk about any person on this planet. Nobody cares about those people. They only care about Kim Goguen. Like, I don't understand. I mean, I understand she's a powerful lady and she has a lot of knowledge and she's a good person, but why is it doesn't make sense to me. You get what I'm saying? Like, how is it that most people watch me for Kim and not anything else? Nobody cares about Trump. Nobody cares about anything. Any other person that I talk about, nobody cares about those people. It's just Kim Goguen. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's what you guys want me to talk about. I mean, I don't mind. I'll talk about her. But I feel like my channel's coming like it's becoming a Kim Goguen support group, right? Like an offshoot. But I do have a Telegram channel that I started, but I haven't promoted it because I don't know how much time I could dedicate to it. I kind of have a lot of things on my mind and things that I'm dealing with, so it's kind of hard to dedicate myself to that channel, although I want to have a place where people can talk about whatever, because I know the care chat is very moderated. It's very moderated. It's highly moderated. I want to have a place where I can go and everybody can talk about whatever, as long as it's not like some terrorist illegal stuff, right? Like if we're just talking about stuff like Kim Goguen or whatever, just say whatever, right? Say your opinion, say your thoughts, whatever. Of course, I don't want toxic people there, right? I want people coming in and being crazy or whatever. But as long as people are respectful and they just want to talk about stuff, I don't mind. Most of the people, if not all of the people that I block on my YouTube, are toxic as hell. They come talking trash, and I show you guys examples in my videos sometimes, so you guys can see the kind of people that I get rid of. But there are a couple of people that I got into it that I felt bad about, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have been so hard on that person, but it's too late. You know, the ship has sailed. They left the channel. It is what it is. High Caliber said, just stay strong. This has been one of my worst years too, as well as many people I know. It's part of the light or the fight to raise our vibration. We have to bottom out first. Yeah, that's what bothers me though. Like, it always has to be bad before it can be good, right? Like, it can't just be good. Like, it can't just go good. Like, you have to go to the rock bottom before you can go up. Like, this universe is just dumb, if I had to be honest. And he said, even Kim says stay in high vibes, even when it's tough. Yeah, I hear you. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm gonna come back, High Caliber. I think you're the only person watching me. I'm gonna take another break. It's not a many. It's not as many people as I thought would be here, but I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So yeah, unless a lot of people start showing up, I'm probably gonna end it early because this stream today is the epitome of this year for me. It's just it's like a horrible year, and now this stream is like it's not a bad stream, but it is what it is. Everybody's quiet except for you, High Caliber. So I appreciate you coming by. At least you're talking to me. That's something. Yeah. Usually, the reason why I'm doing these streams is so I can have people talk to me. Because if I'm just going to talk to myself, I'm just going to go and make videos. There's no point in having a live stream, right? But I'll probably put out a video explaining that so people can know. Like if you're going to come, watch me, go ahead and interact. Or else I'll just make videos, right? Like there's no point of having a live stream if nobody's going to say anything. But yeah, I mean, I don't blame you guys. I kind of started the stream off negative, so it is what it is. I can't be fake, right? I can try to be fake and be like, oh, everything's jolly. I'm having a great time. No, I'm not. My life is horrible right now. I can't pretend to be fake or be something that I'm not. But it is what it is. So if you guys want to talk, go ahead. Ask me questions. I already talked about Kim. I talked about the reports. I feel like I'm forgetting something. She said a lot of good stuff. It's just my mind is kind of blank right now. I don't know why. Like I had all these things that I wanted to talk about and I'm just at a loss for words. I think it's because I went on a tangent. Maybe I should have just talked about Kim instead. So if anybody's in the chat, feel free to talk. Whoever's there. Anybody? You guys want to talk about these reports and this interview? It's very enlightening, I'll say that. But again, I think people have selective hearing when it comes to Kim. They hear what they want to hear. I guess I'll go through some of the comments I've been getting lately. If you guys want me to do that, I'll address some comments. You guys want me to do that? I'll do that since you guys are quiet. I had somebody come to my channel today and they said this. They said, I followed Kim on the UNN site on Telegram and her UNN app. But what I not understand, and I guess this person, their first language isn't English. They said, but what I not understand is that since 2 weeks, all her information is behind a pay site. And I'm not trying to make fun of them. This is how they typed. Now it costs about $88 a year to see her information. When she tells the truth and she has everything under control, why must people pay for the incredible information? It's not right, because her info must be for free into the world and for everyone available for free. It's strange she wants money for it. My meaning, I guess. This person is very weird. And I kind of snapped on them and I was like, you're an idiot. I said, you expect everything in this world for free, don't you? Everyone that puts out this kind of information charges something. Or did you not know this? How do you expect her to survive and live? Have you ever heard her talk? She can't leave where she is. So how do you expect her to make money? She has to earn money somehow. And if you don't want to pay for it, then don't. She isn't making you pay for it. What is wrong with you simpletons that complain about paying for stuff? Are you that broke that you can't afford $88 a year? No wonder you're complaining about paying for it. That's how I am, right? Like, that's the real me. This like, I hear something stupid. Because why are you complaining about her charging for something if you don't want to pay for it? Don't pay for it. It's that simple. Why are you telling me? Like, I'm not Kim. I don't run her website. I'm not charging you for Kim's information. So why are you coming to me complaining about Kim charging for her information? Not to mention everybody in the alt media damn near charges for information. Everybody does it. Alex Jones, David Icke, Carrie Cassidy. The list goes on and on. I heard Nino charges. I'm sure Jaco charges, and all these people charge. So why are you complaining about Kim? if you really support her, right, and you believe in what she's putting out, then freaking pay for it. If she's charging you, and if you don't believe in her message and you don't think it's a strong enough message that you need to pay for it, then don't. But like, for instance, most of the stuff that Sonny talks about on the UNN reports, you can find it on other news channels. You don't have to pay for that. But if you want to watch Kim and see what she puts out, then pay for it. I mean, what else is there? She has to make money, right? She has to survive. She has bills to pay. There are costs for the operation that she's running in terms of trying to get information out. So she has to pay for it somehow, right? And that's how she does it. It is what it is. If you don't want to pay for it, don't pay for it. It's that simple. I'm tired of people coming to me. They act like I'm Kim's keeper or something, or like I'm her accountant. Like, oh, why is Kim charging me now? Why are you asking me? I don't freaking know. If you don't want to pay for it, don't freaking pay for it. Like, I am so fucking tired of answering for this shit. And that's another thing. People come to me and complain about Kim charging them. Or if Kim does something wrong, they come to me and tell me about it. I'm like, why are you telling me? Oh, because I talk about Kim, that means that I have to corral everything she does. Like, I don't understand. Like, I have never talked to Kim. I don't know Kim. I may never talk to her. So why are you expecting me to do this? Giggles and Laugh, what's up? I just saw your message there. So yeah, it's annoying, like I said, when people come and complain about that stuff. And then there are people like, oh, she didn't provide proof of this, she didn't provide proof of that. I'm like, okay. Had somebody else say something. Oh, I had somebody come to me and say, and this is why you are not like a Kim. That was probably my favorite comment that I've heard in a long time. They literally came to me and they were like, that's why you're not like a Kim. Now, I don't know who's in the chat that's watched all my videos. When have I ever fucking said that I was like Kim, or that I was trying to be like Kim or emulate her in any way? When have I ever said that? Me and Kim are so different that it's not even funny. The only thing that I guess me and her have in common is that we have a common goal. And I agree with a lot of things that she says in terms of how to get to where we're trying to go in this world. But she thinks very differently than I do. She's a lot nicer than me. She has a nicer personality. All the things that she talks about or knows, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know everything she's talking about, because I don't. So she has different knowledge than I do. Although a lot of things that I do know correlate with what she knows. So that's why I tend to agree with a lot of things she says or follow her. But she's a different kind of person. She's a male, I'm a female. There's so many different things between me and Kim. So when somebody comes to me and says, oh, that's why you're not like Kim, or you can never be like her, or whatever, I'm like, I'm not trying to fucking be like Kim. Where did you get this idea? Just because I talk about somebody. So I talk about Trump too. Am I trying to be like Trump? I talk about Kanye West. Am I trying to be like Kanye West? Am I trying to be like everybody that I talk about? Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? And sadly, this person was like a Kim Goguen supporter, but they're so stupid. Like, don't say dumb shit to me, because I'm going to lose it. Like, I'm not trying to be like anybody else. I'm trying to be like me, right? I'm very different than anybody on this fucking planet. I am the most different person. Take it, call it arrogance, call it whatever you want. I am very different than anybody on this planet. That's why I stand alone and I stand by myself, and I am a loner. I am who I am. I am me. And I think very differently than pretty much everybody on the planet, including Kim. So I do find that highly disrespectful when somebody compares me to her. Not because I think badly of her, but I'm not her. She's somebody else. It's like if somebody came to you, right? They were like, oh, you're like this person, or you're trying to be like this person. You're not going to like that. It's an insult. So that's just how it is, right? Everybody's like that for the most part. But yeah, anything else you guys want to talk about? I can keep reading comments from people if you guys want to hear that. Let me see. What other stupid comments have I gotten lately? For the most part, I've gotten pretty good positive comments, to be honest. I had somebody come to me and say, hopefully you're signed up to the UNN networks, get planetary updates from Kim 3 times a week. It's not a big deal, really. Okay. I'm just going through comments just to see if there's anything worth addressing. Last UNN report. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Uh-huh. This person said, I've been following Kim for a long time, and she once said a team of bad guys came after her. Then she showed a room full of body bags of the perpetrators. So who knows? Kim always says to be sovereign and to take responsibility for yourself and stand in your own power. That's the main thing that I like about Kim, is that she's trying to make everybody independent. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, Kim has already explained the reason for the price of the new app. Why people don't understand the price of a website, what it takes to make it a go. Yeah. Um, People are dumb. I don't know what else to say. Either they're very poor or they're dumb and they don't want to pay for it. And again, because like I said, most of the stuff that Sunny talks about, that's not really exclusive to UNN. Like, she's just basically reading the news, the mainstream news. You could pretty much find that anywhere. But she'll give you little tidbits here and there. But as far as Kim Goguen, yeah, you have to decide if what she says is worth paying for or not. And if you don't want to pay for it, then maybe you should find somebody that can pay for it for you, or watch it for you and then tell you what's going on, or join the care chat, which is free, and then try to discuss it there. I'm pretty sure. Hey Giggles, tell me if this is true. Isn't it free for a little bit? What she puts out? I don't know, cuz I don't pay for it. I don't watch the UNN on the website. So, isn't it free for a little bit though? Like, she puts it out and then she doesn't charge right away or something like that. I don't know. That's why it's annoying for people to come and ask me about it, because I don't know. I don't know what to tell them other than take it up with Kim and go in the care chat and complain about it. And somebody did ask me about the drama there. They were like, "Oh, there's drama over there." I'm like, "Okay, that's not my chat. Like, I have my own drama over here on my YouTube channel. Why do I want to go and try to police up somebody else's drama?" Kim has people to do that for her, right? She has moderators. I believe that's Lisa's care chat. It's not even Kim's care chat. So Lisa can do that, right? I did hear something about Lisa though. I don't remember who said it or where I saw this comment, but they said something about Lisa being a negative person, or I'll have to look it up. Give me a second. Something about Lisa. Lisa was a bad person or something like that. I don't know. I don't know Lisa like that. I don't really know anybody in Kim's camp. Like, you know, I don't associate or mingle with anybody in her camp, so it'd be hard for me to tell anybody whether these people are good or not, right? I don't know those people personally. I can only tell you that Kim trusts them, and if she trusts them, then I guess they must be good people, right? But then again, she has trusted other people that have backstabbed her, so there's that, right? And I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. I am looking for this comment about Lisa, because I want to ask you guys about it. So I want to make sure I have the right comment. Uh-huh. Okay. Did I lose the comment? Might have lost it. I don't even remember when this comment was said. It was within the last 2 weeks somebody said it. And I don't remember where I saw it either. It might not have even been on YouTube. It might have been on another website. So yeah, I don't know. Somebody said something about Lisa being a negative person and that she likes to censor the care chat or something, and people can't question her or something. I don't know. Or that she's a... I don't know. I don't know what this person said. I'm not going to make it up because I don't remember. Giggles said, I'm very excited about the Source Light coming through on the 24th. How about you? Yeah, I talked about that earlier. I don't know if you saw me, but... or heard me talking about it, but... I said, yeah, it'd be cool. I'm not having a good year, especially the last couple of months. Well, the last 5 months have been pretty bad, but the last few months have definitely been bad. The last 2 or 3 months, and hopefully something good happens, right? I hope. All I know is that I'm certain that next year is going to be a good year for me, anyways. I can't speak for everybody else, but before the year even comes, I'm trying to make things good in my life. I'm trying. It's difficult, but I'm trying. But yeah, I guess I'm excited, Giggles, but not excited. I'm not like, oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm just like, well, hopefully something happens, right? I'm excited for something to happen, but not like super excited, right? I'm like, hopefully it does happen. And then you said, yes, the news is free. 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. You said 6 a.m. and 6. Yeah, that's what I figured. So I don't know why these people are complaining. What are they complaining about? I mean, she has it up for a time, and if you can't make it, you miss the show. Better luck next time, right? I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's really not a lot of money. It's what, if it's 88 whatever. If you do the math, what's that, $5-6 a month? It's not a lot. So I don't know what people are like. Holy shit. It's not expensive. And she has to pay all those people, right? The people that help her produce the work and that work for her and keep the company running and all of that. She has to pay everybody. So plus she has to pay whatever it takes to run the channel, right? Or run the company. She has a lot of costs that she has to make up for, and she, from my understanding, she can't just go work a regular job. Like, she's pretty much stuck where she's at. I'm certain I've heard her say that at least more than once. It's $8.99 per month. Oh, okay. So then that person gave me the wrong math. They said it was $88 a year. I don't know. I haven't even looked at the price because I don't care, because I'm not paying for it. So it doesn't affect me at all. But whatever. Again, if people want to pay for it, pay for it. If not, not. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? You want to keep talking about Kim? I probably have another half hour left in me. Maybe another hour. I don't know. I do want to do a series on this channel. I don't want to announce it yet. I'm going to make a video announcing it. But I'm going to need a female to help me do the series. And all I need is a voice. That's all. Somebody that can read. But it's a series that I want to do. It's not really a big deal either. It's not like this major production. It's just that I need somebody to read some lines. That's pretty much it. It's $88 per year and $8.99 per month. Oh, okay. That explains it. Gills said, there is a lot of negative feedback about Lisa T out there, but the censoring on the Telegram chat is way over the top, in my humble opinion. Well, I guess it's about time I let you guys in on a little secret. Part of the reason why I don't mingle in the Telegram chat is because my main Telegram account got banned there. And one of the Nazi mods there banned me because I was linking one of my videos from this site. Ironically, or from my YouTube, ironically, it was the video that was thanking Kim's community and all the people. So basically the video that I made out of the love and kindness of my heart to show care for the care chat got me permanently banned from their care chat. And then apparently they were, and it's funny because I have posted videos there and Kim was in the chat when Kim was talking while I was posting my videos. Well, I only did it like once or twice, but Kim was there. So Kim didn't say anything. She wasn't like, oh, ban this person, or why are you doing this? She didn't say anything. But whoever the mod was like, ooh, I got to take matters into my own hands. And then apparently it's because I was advertising my channel. And I'm like, I made a video to support the community. How's that advertising? I'm not advertising. If anything, I'm advertising the community and Kim. I'm not advertising myself. But whatever. I don't want to argue that point because I got into it with somebody and they were like, oh, you can't do that. You were advertising. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was freaking linking a video. So, and you know what's dumb about it? It's that other people can link my video, but I can't. How stupid is that? What does it matter whether I link it or somebody else links it? Does it matter? Like, why does it matter? But that's something that was it left a sour taste in my mouth because I thought we were in a higher place of understanding. I can understand you banning trolls or blocking trolls, but when you don't even look at my video and you ban me from the chat permanently without a second opinion or a second thought or even telling me what I did wrong, it was just ban, you're gone. That I don't like that. That's very Nazi behavior. I don't know what else to call it. It's not a good behavior to have. But again, they run their chat how they want to run it. I can't tell them how to run their chat. If that's what they feel works, then do it. I mean, run your chat how the hell you want to run it. But what I will say is, since I got banned from that chat, they lost over 300 people. So the chat is under 600 or 6,000. And they're losing people. And it's because, like you said, Giggles, the way they run their chat is very over the top. Like, I can understand trolls, right? I get that. There are a lot of trolls everywhere. I block trolls too. But if you're just blocking somebody because I posted a video supporting the community, that's why you permanently banned me? I'm like, oh, you lost me on that one. I'm not going to that chat again. So since that time, I do have another account just so I can look at the chat. But I don't talk in it. I'm like, I'll just watch. But most of the time, I just see people just linking stuff or rambling on about stuff, and they don't even know what they're talking about half the time. They're just arguing with each other or just nonsense kind of stuff. And then I see people that are just like, love and light, love and light. And I'm like, this isn't the place for me because I'm not that kind of person. And I'm sure you guys know by now. I'm not a love and light kind of person. I want to be, and I support you if you are, but don't expect me to be doing that, right? Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, love and light all the time. No, I'm a realist, and I know the world that I'm in, and it's not a good world right now. It's just not. So I'm not going to pretend to be like everything's cozy and perfect, right? It's just not how I get down. But anyways, yeah, like I said, it's not my place to tell them how to do their stuff or run their chat. So they do it how they want to do it. And that's their business. It's not my business. But I do have my own Telegram chat, which I'm probably going to start promoting in one of these videos coming up. So that if you guys want to just have a censor-free chat, As long as you don't say illegal shit or, you know, try to do some terrorist shit. If you just want to talk about stuff without being a troll, then go ahead. Talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. I mean, it is what it is. So, Giggle said, very good example. My sentiments exactly. Yeah. And again, I'm not gonna pretend to be some kind of free speech absolutist because I'm not. I'm not a free speech absolutist. That's not. I do believe there are times where people go over the line and they should be censored or blocked or shut down if they say certain things that they shouldn't say. Like if you're threatening somebody's life or whatever. Like people go over the top and they say things they shouldn't say. And most people have a general understanding of what right and wrong is, or what you should say and shouldn't say. And when somebody says something really wrong, they know what they're saying and they know what they're doing. It's not an accident. So those kind of things, yeah, sure, censor that, block that. But other than that, Giggle said, what I don't understand is why haven't the weather weapons been evaporated? Giggles, let's just say that if I was in Kim's position, everything would have already been done. Not knocking Kim. Kim can do things how she feels it needs to be done. But I'm a lot more ruthless and to the point. There are a lot more people that would have been gone. And I'm talking about they would have been gone. You would have seen it. It would have been like a Thanos snap. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like gone. That kind of gone. Not, oh, wait and see. Let's see what happens. Let's give them another chance. I don't do that. I don't play those games. If there are people that are messed up and they're doing messed up things, because I want you to think about this. They have identified unrepairable humans, which she said they got rid of all of them, right? And how did they get in that category to begin with? Because she was like, we're giving them another chance to change. Yeah, but you already identified them and put them in that category of unrepairable, meaning they had to get in that category somehow, right? They must have done something to get labeled that. So they already did their evil. So why are they being given another chance? And then something that did concern me that she said, I think it was in this latest UN report. She was like, hopefully they're all gone and there's still more deep state and they're still doing these things. And I'm like, you guys already know what's happening here. Like, and if you have that many, because she says 135 million here, 35 million on the ground. So she's saying that there's all these troops and people that are working with her. I'm like, yo, put them to work. Let's go. Like, what are we doing here? Get rid of these people. With the technology that she's talking about that they have, this should have been done. Like, this isn't something that should still be happening, right? Or am I wrong here? Now, one thing she said that was very, that gave me a little bit of hope is she said that when the new light comes in, these people are going to start getting disease and they're going to die off and they're going to get burned from the inside out. So that's why I'm like, okay, Kim is very intelligent. Like, she doesn't make mistakes when she speaks. So she always covers her ass, basically. So there's no way, like, if you come back to Kim and you're like, you didn't say, why didn't this happen? Or you just say, she already explained herself. She already had an answer for you. So again, like me saying, oh, well, why hasn't this happened yet? And she's like, oh, but wait. You need to wait until this happens and then it'll take care of itself. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's why somebody asked me earlier. It might have been High Caliber. And I was like, it's a wait and see kind of thing, right? Like with Kim, a lot of things are wait and see. And she's making a lot of hard deadlines, a lot of definitive statements, right? Lately, she's been really firm with what she's saying. So let the time pass and let's go. Let's see what happens. But you at some point, right? At some point, because I'm gonna remind you guys again. I'm trying to be a Kim supporter here, right? But I'm a realist too. She's losing people in that chat, in that care chat, for whatever reasons, whether the moderation is too rough or people are just not believing her anymore or whatever's going on. And like I said, people come to me and they're like, well, why didn't this happen? Or why? I'm like, bro, I'm not Kim. I support her, but I'm not the one that's saying the things that she's saying. Like, I agree with her. I may repeat her message, but I'm not the one that came up with what she said. You need to ask her. Why are you asking me? Like, I didn't say this. I'm just repeating it, but I'm not the person that made the statement. Like, if I say something that Biden said, well, you're going to come to me and say, well, why did Biden say that? I'm not fucking Biden. Why are you asking me? Biden said it. I'm just telling you what Biden said. The fuck you coming to me getting mad at me because Biden said some fucked up shit, right? That's how people come to me. And that's why I, get into fights with people or block people, because I'm like, you're blaming me for something she said. I'm not her. Sorry, like, relax. But anyways, second chances wouldn't exist if I was guardian. And by the way, guys, anybody that's watching here, if I didn't read out your comment or address your comment, that means that YouTube suppressed your comment. So if you said something here and you think I'm ignoring you, I'm not. That goes for you, Giggles, High Caliber, anybody else that's watching. YouTube censors my chat. I go back and I watch the videos. I come back and there are comments that are missing. And I'm like I have to wait for the replay to be finished for me to see that. So I go back and watch the replay and I look at the chat and I'm like, well, I didn't see that comment. I didn't see that comment. So I'm not ignoring any of your comments in case you guys are like, well, why didn't he respond to this thing? It's not me. It's YouTube. YouTube is blocking your comments and I can't see. But I'm seeing whatever I read. That means that I see it. So I just want you guys to know that. But yeah, Giggles. Second chances wouldn't exist if I was guardian. That's how I feel. And again, that's maybe why me and you are not the guardians, right? That's why we're not the guardians, because we probably abuse the power. We probably get rid of some, oops, I got rid of somebody that I shouldn't have got rid of. Oops. There was a casualty, guilty by association. Somebody shouldn't have died. Oops. There was one apple that wasn't rotten in the whole batch of rotten apples. It is what it is. Collateral damage, right? That's how I feel about it. That's me. But I'm ruthless, so it is what it is. High Caliber said, if nothing happens, then what? Will she lose cred? High Caliber, my friend. She's been losing credit. If I'm being real with you, I'm a realist. Like I said, I'm the real truth. She's been losing credit. But it is what it is. Like, people have, like I said, I have people come to me all the time, not just here, but on BitChute and other platforms, and they're consistently just bashing me because I talk about Kim. They're like, well, this didn't happen. She said this. Like, if you go to my other platforms, and I've gotten rid of a lot of comments, so you might not see anything there now because I've cleaned it up, but I still have the emails of what people say, so I could always show you, right? But people have been bashing me for talking about her pretty much since my old channel, and they really don't like when I talk about her. It's bad because she's made a lot of promises and she said a lot of things and they haven't happened. So again, I'm not the one that is discrediting her. I actually support her, and that's why I talk about her. But I can't do anything about how other people perceive her, right? If other people don't believe her or they don't agree with her, there's nothing I can do about that. But her community, for the most part, is lovely, right? And I'm going to be honest with you. When I first started talking about Kim on this channel, my goal, like on my old channel, I was talking about Kim because I was just talking about Kim, right? And I was sharing her information, yada, yada, yada. But on this channel, when I first started talking about Kim, my goal was actually to bring back the people that I lost that used to watch me for Kim, because I enjoyed those conversations that I had on my old channel. On my old channel, I had over 500 subs, and most of them, well, I don't want to say most of them, I would say half of my subs were probably Kim supporters. So I probably had like 250 Kim supporters, and I wanted to bring those people back because I lost my channel, and I missed those conversations I had with them, and they were good people. So I was like, well, I have to talk about Kim to bring those people back. So I started talking about her again, but then I started to get back into her information, and You know, I still supported her. It wasn't like I stopped supporting her. It's just that I wasn't keeping up with it because I took a break from the internet. But long story short, I was trying to bring back those people. Sadly, a lot of them haven't returned. So I don't know if they just haven't found my channel again or whatever. But there's a few people that were pretty good people that haven't come back. And it is what it is. You know, things happen. But hopefully they come back someday. But long story short, that was my main purpose of talking about Kim. Now I'm actually just talking about Kim like I used to just talk about her, right? But initially that wasn't my goal. My initial goal was just to bring those people back. And the crazy part is now, I think, whereas before I may have had 50% of my viewers were Kim supporters, now I'd say I probably have 80% of my viewers are Kim supporters. So I might actually have more Kim supporters now than I did on my original channel. And hey, so I have to keep talking about Kim because that's what everybody wants me to talk about. I don't know why. That's what you guys want to see. So hey, I'm giving you what you want, right? You guys don't care if I talk about anybody else. You guys don't watch any other videos that I make. You only watch the Kim videos. So I'm like, okay, guess that's what you guys want, right? Giggles said, if she is really working with Source, then all the dark players should all be gone already. Darn it. Right, Giggles? Are you like hitting the table? Like, why aren't they all gone? Darn it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I'm not denying that she's doing this, right? It's just that she said herself, she says, if I abuse this power, Source will take it from me. And I do believe that there's something like that, right? I do believe that if you do too much evil or if you do things that you shouldn't do, you will be punished by Source. I know because I kind of, my life is, I don't want to say, how do I explain this? I know that there's a punishment system. Let's just say that. There is a force, an energy that punishes you if you go overboard. Let's just say that. I do believe in that. So that's probably why she can't do as much as she may want to do. I don't know. So I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt on that. But again, I guess I would do it differently, right? Or I would try to. And maybe Source would have taken the power from me and then I wouldn't have been able to do it. But whatever the case is, I still feel that there are people that need to go. There are still way too many evil people in the world. Way too many evil people. There's just too many. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what else to say. High Caliber said, she has been gaining in my eyes, but if this doesn't happen, I may question a few things. Yeah, again, it's a wait and see thing, right? I've been questioning some things with her since I've started watching her, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know everything that she knows. And she even says there's things that she doesn't put out because if people knew everything that was going on, they'd probably want to get off the internet or just disappear from life because of how bad things are. And I believe her on that because I know I've had personal experiences that tell me that she's speaking the truth about that. So I'm not too concerned in terms of certain things that she says. Certain things I know that she's saying is the truth, like what I just said. But some other things I'm like, okay. You get what I'm saying? And High Caliber said, one good thing is she isn't the only one out there saying the light is coming. Yeah. And that's another thing, is that I cross-reference what she says with other people that I trust, right? And there are not that many people that I trust in this world. As a matter of fact, I don't really trust anybody. But there are people that I find to be speaking the truth, according to the way I know the truth to be. So I tend to listen to them and I tend to follow them or hear what they have to say. And a lot of things that she says align with other people that I feel are speaking the truth. You get what I'm saying? But yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to I'm gonna stream as long as I can go. I might take a couple of more breaks. I'm not gonna shut it down. I'm gonna keep going as long. I don't know how long I'm gonna go for. I'm probably gonna go for more than 2 hours for sure. Cause I was gonna stop at 8:30, but I changed my mind. I'm gonna keep going. Giggles said, "Please share your experience with us if you wouldn't mind." Thank you. Okay. I don't know if you were here, Giggles, when I talked about Lilith. Did you see that stream? When I talked about Lilith and my friend? Tell me yes or no, and then I'll continue from there. Yeah, because I talked about that, and that's something that I'm pretty certain that is real. And it's a pretty negative thing. Just let me know. Oh, yeah, something that Kim talked about. She said she had a war with Aries, the female version. I don't know if you guys saw that. I thought it was funny. I know that happens because I've done it myself. She said that she went through all these dimensions and she was fighting with Aries. So, Brian Moore, welcome, my friend. In the dark side of Earth, I took a screenshot and was able to use the image to produce a warning message. This can be verified by anyone, too. Truth. I took a screenshot and was able to use the image. Can you tell me what the message was? In Giggles, I'm still waiting for you to tell me if you watched the stream with Lilith and my friend before I tell you anything else. But because that stream was pretty much one of the things I was talking about. Trust is something I don't have a lot of either anymore. You're telling me, Giggles. You're telling me. Yeah, I trusted. I trusted some people, and they pretty much backstabbed me. That's part of the reason why I'm feeling down. Because certain people in my life that I thought I could trust or that were good people, and they were sent as agents to destroy me or try to take me down. And they posed as friends or other, and they were actually just snakes in the grass. And it's sad. When you dedicate time to people or you trust people, you spend time with people, you believe these people to be trustworthy and honorable, and they're your friends and you can trust them, you can tell them things. Next thing you know, this person's a snake and they're like, they snake you and then they're gone. And you're like, wow, so that happened. That's the way I'm taking it, right? I'm like, okay, so that happened. And I'm still trying to get over it, right? I'm trying to get over these snakes that I trusted. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get too much more personal than that. It's just people that I trusted. And it's funny because I met them online, right? A lot of these people that I'm talking about, I met them actually on YouTube. So I think like one of my New Year's resolution is going to be just be more like myself, be my real self, and not be as nice as I've been. And like I said, some people may like that, some people may not, but I've been pretty, I'm going to be honest, I've been pretty fake on this channel in terms of the way I am as a person. I'm not as nice as I've been pretending to be. Let's just say that. But I do it because I don't like being negative to people that are good. I don't like it. So if you're a good person, I don't feel like I should be negative towards you. I only like being negative to people that are negative. I like fighting fire with fire. But I've held my tongue a lot of times because I'm like, well, I don't want the good people that watch me to look at me in a bad light, right? So because of you guys, that's why I've been reserved, I guess is the best way to put it. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to unleash. I'm just going to be myself. Yeah, Giggles. Tell me about it. It's the ones that are the closest to you that will backstab you the worst. Let's just say that. That's the people that you love, trust, and you have the closest bonds with, they're the ones that you really gotta watch out for. On a dime, they'll turn on you. And all it takes is for them not to like one thing you said or one thing you did, and they'll just turn on you. And then you're like, wow, okay. It is what it is. And I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm some kind of angel because I'm not. I do my share of, I guess, bad things. But I try to be a good person until somebody crosses me. And when you cross me or you go against me and I'm not giving you a reason to be that way, then that's when you see my bad side. And when I get like that, it's like, you shouldn't have got me there. Like I try to tell people, you don't want to see my bad side. People that have seen me, they're like, man, it's like seeing the devil. I'm like, yeah, you don't want to see that. You just don't want to see that. Brian Moore says, much more check the video out I made with their audio. And I can tell you the process I use if you're interested. Yeah, I'm just curious about what you're talking about, Brian. Because you didn't really say anything other than you took a screenshot about a warning message. But what did it say? Or you want me to watch your video? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Incognito, you mean? Yeah, Giggles. I mean, like I said, I'm not a nice guy. That's all I can say. I'm really not. But you can't, the way that I really am, I know that it's not sustainable on this planet. I can't be that way all the time. I have to be human and I have to act normal, I guess, or try to get along with people, even if I don't like them. You get what I'm saying? I think that's the worst part about being a human, is if you want to exist or coexist in a society, you have to be nice to people that you may not like. And I hate that. I'm going to be honest. You sent it, but it's not showing up. Okay, where did you send it? If you linked it in the chat, YouTube they don't allow links in chats or in videos either. That's just YouTube censoring. There's nothing I could do about that. I mean, I have all my social media in every description of every video, including the stream. So if you click on one of my social media, like, I don't know, Instagram, I would say Instagram or Twitter are probably the best places to send me something if you want to send me something. So Instagram or Twitter, I would recommend you send me whatever you're trying to send me there. And I should use my Discord too, but I don't. I haven't really felt the need for it, but I might in the future. And then I got to do my Telegram. I think my Telegram is the main thing I need to get people into, because that would be the best place to share stuff. Yeah. It's sad because I think there was a bunch of people in the beginning of the stream, and the way that I was talking, Giggles, I don't think you were there for that, but I was really saying some stuff. Not anything good. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it too, because I was very down. But I was just spilling my guts out, I guess. You said I sent you a brief description. Guess it's being censored. Yeah, Brian. Like I said, if you want me to see it, either send it to Twitter or Instagram. and I'll look at it from there. Because YouTube is very, I don't know, they just don't let people link stuff. I'm going to take a quick break. And if you guys want to ask me anything or say anything, let me know, okay? I'll be back though. Give me a minute. All right, I'm back. My apologies. Brian said, got an email. I posted the video on Rumble. Cool. Yeah, it's a Rumble video. Okay, I'll check it out when I get a chance. Probably after the stream. Thank you for that, Brian. Giggle said, when you do good things for people, they try to use it against you as if you have bad intentions or something. Very disheartening. Yep. 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 Definitely. I'll tell you a little story about a friend that I had that I met on YouTube. One of the people that I guess I feel like he's a backstabber. And he's religious or whatever. I don't know if he still watches the channel or not because I haven't talked to him in like 2 months or something. But he was a good friend. Like me and him had a lot of conversations. But I found myself constantly acquiescing to the things that he was saying. I found myself constantly letting him dictate the conversation and listening to him instead of me telling him how I really felt. Because a lot of things he was saying I didn't agree with. Like he's a religious guy, right? He follows only the Bible. Doesn't follow anything but the Bible. And every time he would talk to me, I felt like he was talking down to me like, well, I'm holier than thou. So, and it's because I follow this book. And no matter what you tell me, even if you can prove that I'm wrong, I'm not going to listen, right? So it was getting really irritating listening to this guy. Because I was like, well, he's a nice guy, but he's wrong. And the only reason why I'm letting him talk and listening to him is because I like him and he's a nice guy. But in reality, I wanted to shut him down every time he opened his mouth. So it just got to a point where no matter what I said to the guy, he would always bring up the Bible or something about the Bible. And I did kind of tell him, I was like, because I enjoyed him reading from the Bible, whatever. And I was trying to be nice about it, right? Like he would read from the Bible. I was like, okay. Because I want to listen, right? I don't know everything that's in the Bible, but I'm trying to like understand where he's coming from if he's saying something. But when it gets to a point where I'm telling you something And it is what it is, and you're still trying to use the Bible, and I'm telling you that you're wrong, and you keep on, it just gets annoying. It gets irritating, and I lose my patience, and I don't want to deal with it. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it just got to a point where I didn't want to talk to this guy anymore. And we just got into it, and I just told him, I said, I'm done, man. Because every time he's talking to me, he's condescending. And it's like he's trying to put me down to prop up his religion. So it just got old. I got tired of it. And I didn't want to hear it anymore. That's just the truth. But like, if I'm talking to you and I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt and you keep talking down to me because you read a fucking Bible, I don't have any fucking patience for that shit. I'm sorry. Like, you're not going to keep talking down to me, and I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm trying to work with you. I'm trying to meet you halfway, trying to get to some kind of common ground understanding, and you're still being an asshole. You're still being condescending because you read a fucking book. You can go fuck yourself. That's the way I feel about it. Period. So he's one of the people that's, I felt like he was a backstabber because I tried to be nice. The motherfucker wouldn't listen. So I was like, fuck, I'm done. I'm done with this shit. That's the way I feel about it. Brian Moore said, you're welcome. You don't even know my heart's racing sending that. I have trouble trusting a lot of people too, brother. I'm just now starting to share it to people. I have been a bit hesitant. Well, Brian, depending on what you send me, I'm gonna look at it off camera. You said you sent it on Rumble, right? Or in an email? Like, where did you send it? Well, depending on what you sent me, Brian, I'll probably make a video about it or talk about it myself. Giggle said, Bible thumpers drive me bananas. Yeah. And I've talked to the best of the best of the best on this planet. I know the one person on this planet that understands the Bible the way it's meant to be understood, and no one can compare to him. So if I know the person that's basically top of the line Bible, he's the Bible master, basically. I don't want to hear anybody else. Like, I'm like, if you're not up to this guy's level, you're wasting my time, because the guy I'm talking about that understands the Bible, not this last guy, but the guy that is my friend, that is still my friend, that understands the Bible. Nobody compares to him. So I'm like, me and him have had wars with the Bible, but we always get to a common ground. And if you're not on his level, you're not going to tell me shit. So just stop. And this guy the guy that I was talking about that was driving me crazy, or that was annoying me and condescending, he was nowhere near on this other guy's level. So I'm like, you're not even close, dude. Like, just stop. Like, and I was trying to tell him about it. I was like, dude, you don't know as much as you think. And every time he would tell me something about the Bible, I was like, bro, don't you see how this is wrong? Don't you see how this is wrong? And he was like, yeah, but the Bible said, and I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, Brian Moore said, that doesn't sound too Christian of him, really. I mean, we had an argument about real Christians, right? Because, not an argument. Well, yeah, it was kind of an argument, because he was telling me he was talking to somebody on Twitter and they weren't a real Christian and he's a real Christian and yada, yada, yada. And I just said to him, I was like, who are you to decide who's a real Christian? Like, how do you know what's a real Christian? Just because you interpret the Bible a certain way and he interprets the Bible another way, so that makes you a Christian over him, or a real Christian? And what makes you think, how do you know that what he's saying is not more right than what you're saying? Just because he interpreted it a different way, so he's wrong and you're right? And they were both wrong, but I mean, his argument was very, I wish I could remember what it was, but it was just stupid the way he was trying to be like the authority on Christianity and the Bible, and he was far off. And most of the things that he was saying is because he heard somebody else say it. Like, he watched some videos with some dude, and then he linked me the videos, and then the dude that he linked me ended up agreeing with me more than him. And I'm like, do you see that this guy's actually more in line with what I'm saying than you? And that was another thing. I was like, dude, this guy couldn't admit when he was wrong ever. I was like, I'm telling you and I'm showing you where you're wrong and you're still arguing with me? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's when you know the conversation's not going anywhere. If you're showing the person where they're wrong and they're still arguing with you because they just feel like arguing, there's no common ground that can be reached, right? There's nothing to say. It's like, go your way and I'll go my way. Just stop talking to me. Like, we're not getting anywhere. The link went to my Instagram. Okay, let me check it out. Hold on. Accept. Okay, I want to see this. I'm still working on getting it clear. It's rough, but hopefully I get it, Chris. All right, I'm looking at it, Brian. If you want, I could share it on here. You want me to share it on here right now? Do you care if I share it? I'm sure Giggles will like it. I'm looking at it now. I can share it. I can let everybody look at it. Or do you care? Because if you just want me to look at it, I'm not going to, just put it out there. I don't know how you feel about that. Oh, this is a long video. Very long. I'll have to really look at it. No, he already linked it, Giggles. He gave it to me on my Instagram. I'm just asking him if he wants me to share it here. But it's a long video, so I'm gonna have to look at it another time. So, Brian, just so that I'm clear, what exactly are you trying to show me here? Is this some kind of alien communication? Or alien talk? Because from what I'm getting, it's like some kind of noises. Could be alien craft or something. Giggles and I said that would be cool. Yeah, I would. But like I said, it's a long video. I thought it was going to be a short video, but it's a very long video. It's an hour and 2 minutes. I might have to just watch it and make a video about it. How long do you guys want me to stream for? 3 hours? I have literally nothing better to do today. The only thing I was planning was to stream. I mean, I have things I can do, but I do enjoy talking to you guys. I really do. You guys are helping me feel better in terms of the negativity I've been dealing with in my life. It's an audio message I found when I screenshot the ISS cam at Nightside using Audacity imported as a... Oh, okay. Okay. International Space Station. Okay. Is there anything in particular? Because I don't want to miss this. So is there anything in particular in the video that you want me to pay attention to? Because I'm going to watch the whole thing. I'm not telling you I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to watch the whole entire thing. But I want to make sure I don't miss anything particular that you're trying to send me. Is there anything specific that happens in the video that you want me to like talk about or make sure that I don't miss? Because I know you wouldn't be sending me this for no reason. There has to be something really crazy that happens or something that you hear. I've had people send me a lot of kind of stuff like this. But again, I want to make sure that I don't miss the point of you sending me this. Or is it just the whole video you want me to see? Meaning you want me to just hear every single sound in there. Either way, I don't care. I'm going to watch it regardless. I just want to make sure I don't miss your point. But see, this is what I like, Brian. I'm glad you sent me this because that's what I want. I want people to send me stuff and I want to talk about stuff. Like when I was in the military, people used to come up to me and tell me stories that they wouldn't tell other people because they were worried about telling other people, including their family or relatives, friends, whatever. They were like, I can't even tell my wife or girlfriend or whatever because they wouldn't believe me, or they wouldn't, like, they would tell me abduction stories or creatures that they saw, ghosts, all types of stuff. People told me all types of stories that they wouldn't tell anyone else other than me because they just felt like I was the only person that would understand. And I was very open to listening to stuff and hearing people out and giving them whatever I knew about the subject. Like, I could tell you stories now. You guys want to hear a story? Giggles, I do owe you stories because you asked me earlier and I didn't give you anything. I feel bad about that, but I kind of got sidetracked. As long as you want, it's too cold outside to go and do anything. I hear you, Giggles. Yeah. Yeah, I could do, let me see, what time is it? It's almost 9 for me. I'm on the East Coast. I could at least do up in another hour. At least. I know I have at least one more hour in me. So we'll see. And it also gives people time to trickle into. Because I noticed when I did my 9 o'clock stream, a lot of people showed up for that. All right, I'll give you a story, Giggles, about a friend that I had in the military. And he told me about a Yeti, or a Yeti story. A Bigfoot, whatever you want to call it. So basically, when he was younger, like he was a child and he used to live in the woods or something. I don't remember the exact story. So if I miss details, it is what it is. But he told me when he was younger, and then, mind you, I'm trying to recall the story from years and years ago. But he said he was younger. He used to live in the woods and he used to always hear loud noises and stuff like that. And then one day, like they would hear like loud noises, like crashing noises, like crackling noises, stuff like that, right? And he said that they would go out and check like the woods to see what was doing this. And when they went out there, they saw that there were a lot of trees that were upside down. Meaning that something grabbed the tree. And the reason why he's telling me the story is because he overheard me talking to another friend about an anime. I don't know if you know what animes are, but I was talking to a friend about an anime, and the anime had Bigfoot or Yeti in it. So he heard me talking about it, and I was telling my friend, I was like, hey, this stuff is real. Like, people don't understand that these things exist. And it's funny because Kim had a call. Somebody called in and told her that on one of the shows she did with, what's his name? George the Iceman. So, like, if you see the second part of the George Iceman interview with Kim, somebody called in and told her this, one of these stories about a Yeti, or they think it's a Yeti or something. And Kim said it was a Yeti from the description. But anyways, so I was telling one of my friends about this anime that had Yetis in it, and then this guy came and told me this story that I'm telling you now. So he said he went and they went out there, they saw the trees. So basically he said, from what it looked like, something really strong was able to uproot these trees. And he said they were huge trees. I don't know if he said they were pine trees or whatever, but he said they were really big trees. And somehow they were able to uproot the tree. All right, High Caliber, I appreciate you coming by. Yeah, I'll be here for another hour or so. So I'll talk to you later if you come back. But this creature was able to uproot the tree, jump up into the air really high, and then flip the tree upside down and slam it into the ground. And the point, from my understanding, and mind you, I'm just putting pieces of the story together as I talk to you. the point of this was to mark the territory of this creature. It was basically telling people that it lived in this place and not to go there. So the way you would know, obviously, is if you see these trees upside down, right? But long story short, he told me that that was happening there. And then one day, he said that, I don't know if he said he was by himself or not, but he was in his cabinet. And this thing, I don't know if it was a cabinet or, yeah, Giggles, you know what I'm talking about. When that lady called in and she was talking about it. But yeah, this, my friend told me this years ago. So the story that I'm telling you was way before I even knew who Kim Goguen was. But he said, and like I said, these are the kind of stories that people tell me, or that they would tell me, that they were scared to tell other people. But he said that one night he was in his cabinet, or I don't know if it was a trailer or something. I don't know what it was. But he said that this thing came in. Maybe it was a trailer, right? Like, one of those trailers that you pull and you live in a trailer, whatever. So he said this thing came to the trailer or wherever he was staying, and it just started to rock the trailer back and forth. So the whole thing was shaking. Wherever he was living or staying, it was just shaking. The whole thing was shaking. And he was scared for his life, obviously. And then it just stopped shaking. And then the door was pulled off. I don't know if he said it was pulled off or punched in, but whatever it was, the door was gone. Whether the thing punched the door in or pulled it off, doesn't matter. The door was gone. And then this thing walked in there, and it looked right at him. And it got really, he said it was like instantaneous, because these creatures, people don't understand, not only are these creatures psychic and they live for thousands of years, so they can read your mind. They are highly intelligent. They live for thousands of years. They're very powerful and strong, quick, agile. You name it, these creatures have it, right? And the creature, like he said, within an instant of it being at the door, it was right in his face. Like it basically teleported to him. Like it flew from the door to his face in a second, he said. It was right there. And he didn't even know what happened. He was just looking at it. And it was right in his face, just staring into his eyes. And he was face to face with this creature. And the next thing that he knew is that he passed out and he woke up in his bed. And when they woke up in the morning, the thing had the door was still missing. There was evidence that it was there, but it didn't harm him or his family. And I believe that the creature knew, because this guy that I'm telling you about, he was a pure heart. He was a pure soul. He was one of the best people I've ever met in my life. He was a good guy. I believe this creature looked into his soul, saw him, and said, this is a good guy. This is a good dude. He's going to live a good life. I am not going to hurt this creature. So it basically respected my friend, or this dude that I'm telling you about, and it left him alone and walked away, because it saw his future. It was like this. He's going to grow up to be a great man. Why would I hurt? These creatures are very sensitive, right? And they're very telepathic. They can see the future. They know all these things. So when I looked at my friend, it was like, he's a good guy. Why would I hurt this guy? Now, if he thought my friend was a bad guy or dangerous or whatever, then he would have hurt him, right? But he didn't. He just looked at him, put him to sleep, left. And that's the story he told me. He said after that, they never, I don't know if he said they left, whatever. I don't remember the rest of the story after that, but he told me that, and I was like, okay. Brian. Yeah. Yeah, and these creatures are very evolved. From my understanding, a lot of them, because there's different types of them, and they don't originate from this planet. If I remember correctly, I don't know where I heard this, but they crash landed on this planet. They're not even from Earth, but they've been living here for a very long time, and they're stuck here. But they try to stay away from humans because they know humans are dangerous, right? And they don't like how humans are. So, but they don't want to hurt humans either. So what they do is they go live in the woods or in the mountains where you can't find them, and they just stay away from society. And if you happen to see them, you lucked out, you saw them. But if you cross into their territory, they'll what they do, from my understanding, is they try to warn you and tell you to leave. They're like, hey, this is where we live. This is our territory. You're too close. You need to go. So they try to give you like a courtesy to go away. And if you don't, that's on you, right? It is what it is. They're going to deal with you at that point. But that's just one story. I had another. You want to hear another story, Giggles? I got another story for you if you want to hear it. I got a lot of stories that I could tell, because I've heard a lot and I've dealt with my own stuff. But there's another story that comes to mind if you want to hear it. Just let me know. So what do you guys think about that story? Have you guys ever watched the channel Mr. Ballin? That's a really good channel. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend to watch that channel. He must have intruded on the Bigfoot's territory. I don't know. I guess that's what happened, because this is my summation of it. This is what I think happened. I believe that the Bigfoot, or the Yeti, whatever you want to call it, basically said, I'm going to give these people a warning, and I'm going to set up a perimeter. So that's why I was uprooting the trees and jumping up in the air and slamming them down into the ground. So it was basically, that was the warning, right? It was like, hey, this is my territory. Don't come over here, right? It's like, that's the warning. So they went out there and they saw. They were like, because from what my friend said, their cabin wasn't near where the trees were uprooted. Like, they had to go out into the woods a distance to find those trees uprooted. But I don't remember if he said they could see them from the cabinet or not. But I do remember him saying that they had to travel a little distance before they could find those trees uprooted. So what happened is, he went over there, or the Yeti was basically doing that to tell them, this is my territory, don't come over here. And then when they didn't leave that day, when they saw those trees, and they knew, because the Yetis are watching, or the Bigfoots are watching, right? They can sense you. They know when you're coming. They know when you're around. So it knew that they were still there. So, and it also knew that they went to go check on those trees. Now, I'm just assuming all of this, but it makes perfect sense, because based on the things I know about the Yetis and what my friend told me. So it already knew that, hey, you guys looked at the trees. You didn't leave. Like, what's going on here? Like, you guys should not be around here. And because they didn't leave, it went to the cabin, and it was like to confront them, right? And again, I don't remember if my friend said he was alone or not in the cabinet, or if somebody was. I'm certain he said he was alone when the Yeti showed up. But I don't know if his parents went out somewhere or something. I don't know what happened. All I know is he said he was alone in the cabinet with the Yeti, and it was looking right in his eyes, but it didn't want to hurt him. It just wanted him to know, like, hey, we live over here. So, and they just left him alone. But I'm certain they left after that, right? So, oh yeah, Giggles. If you haven't heard of Mr. Ballin, highly recommend you check out his channel. What he does is he talks about, and Brian Moore knows because he said he's watched them. He talks about 401 missing cases and stuff like that, and scary stories and all this. And if you really want to know what's going on in the world, watch Mr. Ballin. Watch Mr. Ballin, because the things that he says, that's what's going on in this world. This world is a lot crazier than people realize. It's just not. I love Kim Goguen. I think she's great. I love what she's doing for humanity, but it's just not all roses and gumdrops and rainbows. It's just not. It's just not. It's very messed up. And it doesn't take, like, you got to understand this as well. Most people live in cities, right? Most people live around cities, near cities, not too far from cities. That's where most people live. But when you start venturing out into the wilderness, into the mountains, into the woods where there's no civilization, that's where all the bad stuff is. There's a lot of, and I don't want to say everything's bad that's out there because, like I said, the Yetis aren't really bad. They're just territorial, right? They don't want to be messed with. They want to live their life in peace. So they don't want humans around them. But there are a lot of bad things out there that people just don't know. And most of the things that are out there are not human. And they're living here too. And Kim talks about it, right? She says there are others. And there are others, all right. There are others. And a lot of those others are not friendly. They don't want you going where they are. And if you go out there, they'll deal with you. But like a lot of the stories that Mr. Ballin tells, it's like people that wanted to be adventurous, and they went on an adventure and they thought they were having fun. No, Mr. Ballin. I'll type it out for you. It's actually, I'll just spell it. Mr. Mrballlen. I think that's how you spell it. Mr. Ballin. I think that's how you spell it. Let me check just to make sure. I'd link the channel if I could. He's one of the few people that I'm sub to because stuff that he says is. Make sure I got it right. Yep. Mrballlen. I made a video on my old channel talking about him because I felt he was worth. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Brian. Or Mr. Brian. Brian. Whatever, I could call you Mr. Brian, doesn't matter. But yeah, Mr. Ballin. That the way Brian spelled it. So yeah, if you look at that channel, yeah, there's a lot of scary stuff, but the world is a scary place. So I like that because it's real. Just like Brian said, anything occult or whatever, that's the reality of the world. And I'm not saying that you should get consumed by it or let it overtake you. If anything, you should let it steal you, right? And make you stronger so that you know the truth of what you're dealing with. And Kim said it. Like I said, Kim said it in this last report. She said there's so many bad things going on. She didn't say it like this. I'm kind of rephrasing it or rewording it. But she said there are so many bad things going on that I can't even tell you because you guys wouldn't want to hear anything and you would just get off the internet. That's how crazy this world is. Yeah, Mr. Ballin's a good dude. He's a real good dude. And he's had his own experiences. If you go back to the beginning of his channel, he talked about some stuff that happened to him that was supernatural. And that's part of the reason why he does what he does, because he's had his own experiences. I've had my own experiences. So yeah, Giggles, I'm going to tell you a story. I'll tell you guys a story. I'm going to take a quick break and then I'll tell you guys another story, okay? I think you guys will like this story too. It's pretty crazy. Give me a second. Yeah, giggles. She said something like that. She definitely said something like that. And that's what I'm talking about. And if you watch Mr. Ballin's channel, that's the kind of stuff that Kim is talking about. That if people knew, you'd be real scared of what's going on in the world. And it's not just that, because we also have corrupt governments and stuff like that doing evil stuff to people. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this world. This world is mostly evil. If I had to be completely honest with you, it's mostly evil. It's hard to imagine that this world is still going the way that it's going, considering how evil most of the things are. So, all right. So now I'm going to tell you guys two more stories from the same person. And then I'll see what you guys think about it. So there was this dude that I met. I was playing a video game called World of Warcraft. And I met this dude in the game. I forgot how we met. We just started talking out of nowhere. And he was in the Air Force. And he was stationed, I believe, in Alaska. Or he said he was stationed in Alaska. I don't know. I think he was stationed in Alaska. I think that's what he said. And I wish Mark was here. He's one of the people that got into it. Mark is from Alaska. But anyways, so this guy was stationed in Alaska. I don't remember what base he said he was stationed at. And he told me two stories. The first story is one that had to do with him being there in Alaska, or where he was stationed. And another story was when he was younger, when he was a kid. And we were talking about all types of stuff. Like, I forgot what I was telling him, but it led to him telling me these two stories. Mind you, this is online, so he ends up telling me, he's like, so, because I was telling him about aliens and reptilians and stuff like that, right? And he ends up telling me these stories about, yeah, you should definitely check them out. But he ends up telling me these stories about these two stories. I'm getting confused a little bit. The first story he told me was when he was stationed there. I think he was still stationed there. He said that the natives always talked about gray aliens or people trying to take their kids and stuff like that. The natives, the Eskimos or whatever, whoever lives up there, the natives from Alaska. And he said that they were always telling them stories, or they were always trying to, like, they had this, what people call superstitious belief or whatever, that they were demons or whatever, but they were actually aliens or whatever, like grays, right? And what ends up happening is, he said that the stories he heard from these natives was that these aliens or demons or whatever, they were always demanding sacrifices from the natives for their children. They wanted the natives' children. And there was one time where it was so bad that the natives were trying to overrun the base and get inside the base because they were being attacked by these aliens. And they wanted to get inside the base, the military base. But, you obviously, if you know anything about the military, you're not allowed to be on the base without an ID or whatever. You can't just get on a military base. Like, you just can't. You just have to, they have to let you in, right? But these natives were like, we need to get in. Like, you got to let us in. These aliens are taking our kids, yada, yada, yada. So one of the natives, because he was guarding the base, right? And he was outside on the perimeter. And he was charged with obviously not letting anybody in. And he said that one of the natives, I don't remember, so I think he said it was a female, and she was holding her child. And she went up to him and she was like, please take my child, please take my child. And he was just looking at her and he didn't know what to do, right? Like, he wanted to help her out, but he was like, he couldn't, right? He was under orders to guard the base, so he couldn't just take her child. Like, they weren't going to let that happen. So he was just looking at her, and he said while she was giving him her child, or trying to give the child away, he said that he saw like a large gash just go over her arm and just cut her arm open right in front of him. And he said, like, she was telling him, like, look what's happening to me. Like, they're trying to take my child. Just take it. And according to what he said, he was looking and he said that it just out of nowhere, like he didn't see anything do it. There was nothing visible that he could say that did this to her, but he just saw a large gash just open up on her arm. And she was telling him that these were the aliens or the demons that were trying to take her child. And that's why she was doing that. So, I don't remember more than that. I don't know if he told me there was more to it than that, but that's what I remember from that story. So that was him, he told me that. And then I asked him about reptilians and stuff like that. And he said that when he was a child, because I described to him what reptilians were. And he said when he was a child, he said that I believe he was asleep, or it was nighttime. He was laying down and he was hearing noises outside of his window or in his backyard. And it was nighttime, obviously. So he said he went to go look out the window because he kept hearing noises. And he said the noises that he heard didn't sound like any animal he had ever heard. It wasn't an animal noise, a human noise, or anything. But it sounded like some kind of noise, like a monster noise or something. He'd never heard it before. So he went and looked out his window. And he said that when he looked outside, it was completely pitch black outside. So all you couldn't see anything. There was no light. So he couldn't see anything outside. But what he did see was two glowing red eyes staring up at him. And he said when he made contact with the two eyes, he was paralyzed. And he couldn't move. And he was just looking like into this darkness, pitch black. And there were just these two red eyes just staring right at him. And he was paralyzed. And the next thing you know, he said he he passed out, woke up in the morning. And see, this is where I got confused with the two stories. Because the first friend, I think he said that the door was pulled out by the Yeti. But this guy told me that the creature, whatever it was, punched his door or kicked his door in, and it was broken. So let me backtrack a little bit. So basically, after he saw the eyes, he woke, like he doesn't remember what happened after that. He just saw the two eyes. Then he woke up the next day in his bed, and his back door was broken, like something kicked it in or punched it in. And that's it. So that was his evidence for whatever it was down there was actually down there. Because he, if there was no physical evidence, he could have just said, oh, I had a dream, right? Like I had a dream, I saw something and nothing was there. But when he woke up to go downstairs, the door was broken. So it's like, okay, so this something was there, right? Something happened. And that's what he told me. So I think that's pretty interesting because yeah, people have stuff happen to them. And I love people that, I think the dumbest people are the ones that haven't had any experiences and they're like, well, that can't be real because I've never had an experience. So that means that what you're saying is a lie. Those are the dumbest people. It's like you're telling somebody else that their experience wasn't real because you haven't experienced it or because you're listening to what the mainstream media. Like who's telling you that these things aren't real? People that aren't credible or that are not credible. People that are basically liars and deceivers. Those are the ones that you listen to. Like Elon Musk, right? Or was it Elon Musk? Who said this? Somebody was talking about, no, it was Tucker Carlson, right? He came out and he talked about the CIA and them having something to do with the Kennedy assassination, right? And they also invented the term conspiracy theories or conspiracy theories. So the reason why they created that term or those words of that phrase in 64 was to silence people who talked about that assassination, right? To discredit them. And ever since that time, that term has been thrown around and used to try to silence people that are speaking the truth. So that's why when people say, oh, I don't believe the story, or I didn't hear it, it sounds like a conspiracy theory or whatever. I'm like, who are you listening to that's telling you that? The people that have lied to you, tricked you, manipulated you this whole time? The ones that created the terms to discredit people that are speaking the truth? Those are the ones that you're listening to? But yeah, there are a lot of dumb people in this world. That's all I have to say. They believe the ones that are lying to them and tricking them and deceiving them. Those are the ones that people tend to listen to. Yeah, it's trippy. There are a lot of things that are crazy in this world. I've had my own encounters with grays and stuff like that. And yeah, I've had my own dealings with certain things. I've seen stuff myself. That's why I know, like, besides the stories that I'm telling you, and there are plenty of other stories that people have told me, but there's also my own personal experiences, right? So if I've dealt with stuff and I've been in situations myself, then not only do I have the ability to believe people when they tell me something that happened to them, but I can also see, like, when somebody like Kim Goguen says something, right? And I believe her when it comes to that kind of stuff, right? The supernatural stuff, because I've dealt with it. I've had my own experiences. So, of course, I'm going to believe that part of what she says, right? Whether, she gives me assurance or not, I don't care. But when it comes to the supernatural, the others, the aliens and stuff like that, yeah, I definitely believe her on that. But I don't know. Like I said, I have my own stories if you want to hear those, but I think the stories that other people tell me are more interesting than mine. Mine's are kind of, I don't want to say, I have had some crazy stuff happen. Not going to lie. But I like telling other people's stories, I guess. But I wouldn't, like, if you want to hear stuff that happened to me, I could tell you that too. But is there anything you guys want to talk about or share? Because I've been rambling. So anything you guys want to talk about? At the bare minimum, you guys got some kind of entertainment out of this stream. Right? That's weird. Stream's not telling me. I know I've been going for like 2 hours, 20 minutes. Anything you guys want to talk about? I talked about Kim earlier. For those of you that are showing up now, I could talk about her again. But yeah, like Giggle said, she said, if you knew the stuff that was going on in this world, you wouldn't want to leave your house. It's that bad. It really is. And that's why Kim, she tries to focus more on the positive stuff, right? She tries to give people hope. And that's crazy. You got to think about it. Kim is privy to all this knowledge and information that most humans wouldn't be able to tolerate or handle, right? So can you imagine the things that she knows that she's not saying, the things that she's hiding, or the things that she won't tell people because she knows that people won't be able to handle it? And she tries to generate a positive culture around her, right? And give people hope. That's why I don't understand why people attack her. I'm like, so what if she's not giving you money? Like, what about her positive message that she's trying to share with the world, right? Don't you care about that at all? Like, all you care about is money? Like, most of the people that are like that are either greedy or evil, right? They just money, money, money. But, everybody has to survive. But at the same time, if you're relying on someone else to take care of you with money, then you're never going to be able to take care of yourself, right? You're always going to be waiting for a handout or something. So it is what it is. You guys are quiet. Anybody want to say anything? Anybody new show up to the stream? Anybody just walked in? Can say hi or say anything you want. Basically, I'm just rambling at this point, telling stories. So if people want to talk, go ahead. Oh man. I'll probably make a video on that video that Brian sent me once I look at it. If I find that there's something that I need to talk about. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, like I said, Giggles. And that goes for anybody else that's here. If I don't read your comment out loud, that means I didn't see it. YouTube hid it from me. So what did you say, Giggles? You might have to reword it. Or you might have to take out whatever you think that they don't want me to see. You might have to censor it a little bit. Because YouTube is dumb like that. But you know what's funny too? I do want to make this little point. I was actually going to make a video talking about this. YouTube is actually the best platform in terms of people. Sadly, as much censorship as YouTube has, it's actually, I don't like the censorship, don't get me wrong, but when I talk to people from other platforms, they're so damn toxic. I'm like, I can't stand these people. Like on BitChute, oh my god. It's so bad over there. Giggles is still not showing up. Whatever you wrote. So again, anybody that's watching, if I haven't read your comment, that means YouTube censored it. Because I read every comment out loud. Or I respond to every comment if I see it. So if I haven't addressed it, that means YouTube hid it from me. My throat is freaking dry because I've been talking for so long. I have to keep drinking. I sound a little, I don't know if raspy is the right word. But yeah, I'm trying to clear my throat a little bit. Yeah. Giggles, your message is still not showing up. Whatever you're trying to send me. Anybody else want to talk about anything or tell me a story? How about you guys tell me stories? I had I had high caliber tell me a story about something that happened to him. And I thought that was interesting. He dealt with an apparition or something. And Brian sent me that video. So I have to check that out. Yeah, Giggles, whatever you're trying to write, if you're saying a name or something, like, you know, I don't know what you're trying to write, but YouTube doesn't like it, whatever it is. Are you still trying to write it out, Giggles? Are you still trying to write it out? So anybody that's here, you can say hi. Don't be shy. You can talk to me about whatever. That's what I'm here for. That's the whole point of the live streams, for me to talk to you guys. So if you guys want to say anything, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it seems like, Giggles. Whatever you're trying to tell me, they definitely don't want you to say it. And that sucks too. I'm gonna see it too when I watch the replay, because it always shows up. All the comments show up on the replay. Every single comment will show up on the replay. But live, they block some stuff. And it's usually if you say a certain name that they don't like, or like you said, if you talk about a certain subject that they don't like, they just don't even show the comment at all. Then I have to go back and watch, and I'm like, man, I missed this. And it's annoying because sometimes they're really good comments that I miss that I can't respond to. But that's YouTube, right? That's why I was considering doing live streams on Rumble, because, and I'm still considering it. I'm very, very highly considering doing most of my live streams on Rumble. Not most, but a good amount, where I just want to cut loose and have uncensored conversations about anything. That's what I want to do on Rumble. That sucks, Giggles. If you want to send it to me on Twitter or Instagram, you can do that, like Brian did, and then I can see your comment there, and then I'll address it here if you want to do that. So yeah, Twitter or Instagram if you want to, if you want to send a comment. But yeah, so anybody want to talk about anything? I know Giggles does, but YouTube isn't allowing it. Again, I thought it was interesting that Kim was talking about her battle with Hera, or not Hera, Ares. And I've had that happen to me, or I've had my own battle like that she described. So I know that what she's saying there can easily happen, right? Because I've done it myself. So if there's things that I've done myself, then I can easily vouch for her saying that, right? Not to mention that I know that there are entities here now that I've had battles with that are not human. So yeah, I'm certain that what she said is what it is when it comes to supernatural stuff. I've done my own supernatural stuff. So, like when I certain things, like I said, that I hear make perfect sense, but a lot of people won't buy it, right? Because they're like, oh, there's no way that can happen. There's no way. Well, it just depends, right? It depends on your level of experience and understanding in this world. But a lot of times they have to happen in another, like most of the knowledge that you bring to this world is from your other lives, right? So if you haven't had much experience in other lives, or if you haven't even had any other lives, then it's going to be hard for you to grasp or comprehend a lot of the things that Kim says. Oh yeah, and I also have YouTube pulled up, so if you guys want to watch YouTube videos, we can do that. You guys want to watch YouTube videos? We can do that. I forgot to say that. This is the second time in a row, because the last stream I wanted to do that and I didn't, because I got into conversations with people. But I remembered this time. So if you guys want to watch some stuff, be like, hey, watch this or pull this up, I can open my YouTube and we can watch it. So we can talk about different things, right? It's up to you guys. Anybody want to watch anything? Hey, Giggles, where are you gonna send it? Are you gonna send it on Instagram or Twitter? That way I can look out for your message. Do you think bad ETs are behind the clock things? Do I think bad ETs are behind the clock things? Oh, well, I guess that's what you were trying to ask me about. I'll say this: bad ETs are behind every bad thing that is going on this entire planet. So when I say the evil ones, I don't know if you've heard me say that in my videos, but I always say the evil ones. The reason why I say the evil ones is because there are ETs and demons, not to mention evil humans, who might as well be demons or ETs themselves, or bad ETs, that are doing all these things to people. So I just say the evil ones to kind of group everyone or everything together. So yeah, when it comes to that, and I used to talk about that a lot on my old channel, but when it comes to that, yes, anything negative or bad that you're seeing on this planet has to do with bad ETs, demons, and humans. The evil ones, as I call them. So yes, for sure. As a matter of fact, I remember seeing someone, forgot where I saw this. I think it was on Carrie Cassidy's page or something, where there was an ET that was trying to plead with the Council of whatever, the Council of Worlds or whatever good ETs that are supposed to be helping humanity, right? The good ETs didn't want to interfere with what you're talking about there, but there was some good ETs from this planet, I believe, that were here on the ground, and they were trying to tell them, hey, we need a direct or divine intervention to fix this problem, because what they're doing here is a breach of galactic law or something like that, with that what you're talking about, right? The C-19 treatment. And yeah, the ET that was here vouching for us was basically telling them this is a breach of galactic law, and what they're doing here is very evil, and the humans can't defend themselves. They need to be saved. And that's part of the reason why I'm a little bit frustrated with a lot of things, as to why things aren't moving a little bit faster, because a lot of things that are happening right now to humanity are beyond the capability of humans to deal with them, right? Humans are just not able to deal with this kind of stuff that's going on. It's too much. We don't have the technology. We don't even know that, well, I don't want to say we, but a lot of people don't know that this stuff is happening, right? They have no idea. They're just like living in this world, being fooled, tricked, and deceived and controlled by entities that they don't even know exist. So how are people supposed to fight back and deal with the stuff that's going on if they don't even know what's happening, right? It just gets to a point where it becomes unrealistic to expect humans to do anything about it. Yeah. Yeah, galactic law, universal law. You know what I'm talking about. It's there are laws in place that are supposed to protect um they're supposed to protect humanity and other races that can't defend themselves. And right now humans are in that place, right? humans are in a place where they can't defend themselves. So that's why a lot of people cling on to Kim's message, right? They're hoping against hope, I guess is the best way to put it. Or they're trying to remain hopeful so that they can have some kind of hope that they will be protected or saved by somebody or something, because they just don't have the capability to defend themselves. So yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about? What do you mean by that, Giggles? Oh, metal protectors? What do you mean by that? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Well, it's obvious, isn't it? You ever heard what happened with Phil Snyder? If you ever heard Phil Snyder talk or what he said these things are mortal, they do die. And he said he killed 2 of them, right? 2 aliens. So the aliens are trying to take this stuff away from us, and they're using humans to do it. That's why they keep, all these MK Ultra people that keep doing evil things and shooting up places. The reason why that's happening is because they're trying to get humanity to police themselves up and take away their own stuff from each other by doing all these evil acts, using humans to kill other humans, right? And they're like, well, see, you don't need these things. You don't need these things, because they know that's the only form of protection that we have against them. That's it. And the United States is the last country, pretty much, that, from my understanding, that has the capability to defend themselves against these creatures. So they have, they want to take weapons from Americans, because Americans are the most dangerous country, I guess, in terms of defending ourselves against them, the aliens. So they're like, if we can disarm them, then they don't have any kind of protection. They don't have any way to fight us or defend against us. And from my understanding, they've been planning invasions of the world for a long time. They just haven't done it yet. And when I say invasions, I'm not talking about they landed here and hid. Because people say, oh, we've already been invaded. Like Carrie Cassidy says this all the time. She's like, we've already been invaded. You're like, no shit, yeah. But that's not what people are talking about. We're talking about a real invasion where everybody sees what's happening and people are getting killed nonstop. That's the kind of invasion that people are talking about. And they are planning that. They are planning that. That's still a thing. When I say they, I'm talking about the evil ones that control the world. It's not going to be a fake one either. Because I've heard people say, oh, there's going to be a false one, false flag, false this, false that. Look, when there's a real invasion, when they're doing what they want to do to humanity, no one's going to be able to deny it. It's not going to be up for debate. People are going to die. And they're going to do shit that people are going to see. I'm talking about eating people, doing all types of evil stuff right in front of your eyes that nobody's going to be able to hide from. That's what they're planning. Now, according to Kim, she's working to not let that happen. And this is another reason why I believe Kim. Because the things that they want to do are so evil that I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. Let's just say that. So something is stopping them. Something is keeping them from doing what they want to really do. Because they really want to do some evil stuff. And it hasn't happened yet. So I'm like, well, damn. I mean, Kim has to be the one doing this. Or somebody's doing it. Let's say Kim is making stuff up and she's not doing it. Somebody's doing something to stop them. Because if they had their way, they would have already feasted on everybody on this planet. That's what they want to do. So again, there is definitely some kind of good force that's holding them at bay. And Kim says it's her and her crew, then that's who's doing it, right? I don't know who's doing it, but I can't say that Kim is lying because I don't know who's doing it. So I have to take her word, right? And she speaks the truth about a lot of stuff, so why would I deny her? I'm like, okay, that sounds legitimate. She hasn't given me a reason to really doubt her, so if she says that's what's happening, then that's what's happening. It makes sense to me. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't really know what's going on in the world. So when they hear Kim say that, they're like, well, why does not happen yet? And I'm like, shut up. You sound so stupid. Like, have an experience in life and figure things out, and then question Kim after you've seen things and done research and learned and talked to people. Then doubt Kim. But if you haven't had an experience and you don't know anything, then you're not in a position to question or doubt anybody. Like, but those are the people that are dragging everybody down, right? The ones that don't know anything and they just want to attack people. It is what it is. So, yeah. Phil Snyder killed 2 aliens, according to him. And I believe him. I don't think there's any reason for him to lie about that. And that's why they want to take the weapons away. Because they know that that's a threat. It can hurt them. It can kill them. They don't want humans having weapons. The weapons were originally introduced to humanity as a means of protection against aliens and other things that might try to hurt humans. That was the point of weapons being introduced to humanity. A lot of people don't even know how we got weapons. They're like, oh, this guy invented a gun. This guy invented martial arts. This guy invented... I'm like, you guys are so stupid. You think people came up with this stuff? Like, martial arts and weapons were introduced to humans by outside forces, aliens. They came here, good aliens, benevolent aliens. I believe it was the Pleiadians. I don't remember. But all I know is good aliens came down here. They saw humanity needed some kind of protection, some way to defend themselves against other forces in the environment, and they introduced martial arts and weapons to humans. That's what happened. But people think, oh, this guy invented martial arts. Oh, this guy invented the gun. And I'm like, you guys don't know anything. You really think people are that smart? Like, humans may be capable of things, but they're not capable of those kinds of things. Let's just say that. Unless they're fully tapped into, unless you figure out how to tap into your brain 100% and your soul 100%, you're not capable. Like, regular humans are not capable of just doing this kind of stuff. Like, people like Tesla, right? He was in contact with aliens and outside forces, and that's how he was gaining all his knowledge and information. And he was able to tap into his brain and his soul and have the knowledge to create the things that he created. Like what Kim says, right? Tap in a source and all of that stuff. Yeah, there is something out there, Giggles, that exists like that. I do believe in a higher power that creates everything. But I also believe that that higher power created everything with the purpose of it, everything being its own universe. Every soul that's been created, you're your own God and you're your own universe. That's why I don't believe in giving your power away unless you want to, right? If you want to worship Source or you want to worship God or whoever you want to worship, that's your own choice or decision. That's what you want to do. But I don't believe you have to do that. That's where I differ from a lot of people. I may believe that something is there, but I don't believe that that thing owns me and that I have to give my power back to it, or I have to live according to those rules or laws. Do you get what I'm saying? Even if I agree with some of those laws or rules, even if I align with it, but I don't feel that's because that thing is telling me to do it. I feel like that's my own decision. And that creature, or whatever you want to call it, source, whatever, it decided to give you life or created you with the intent of you being your own creation. your own universe, your own God, right? I'm not saying everybody should walk around and say, I'm God, I'm this, I'm that. But you are what you want to be. Let's just say that. Do you have Instagram? You can do Instagram if you want. Twitter, Instagram, whichever. I'll look for either one. But I'll be back, okay? Taking another quick break. To message me on Twitter. That's a good question. I have no idea. If you put, how do I do this? Follow me, and then I will message you. Okay? So that way you can message me. I don't blame you. To be honest, I don't like using these apps. I don't like Twitter or Instagram, but sometimes people want to communicate. So that's what I use it for. I've had people follow me and they don't say anything. And I'm just like, well, why did you follow me? You follow me just to follow me, but you're not going to say anything? Because I don't have anything posted. Like when I start posting stuff, then yeah, I'm going to expect people to follow me, but I haven't posted anything. I'm just using it as a communication uh, app, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. Platform. So if you follow me, I'll message you and then you can message me. Yeah, just see if you can follow me. Yeah, if you click on the links under my video, it'll take you right to my page. Like in the description of this live stream or any of the videos, it says Twitter, and then it has my Twitter there, and you can just click on it, and it'll take you right to it, and then you can just follow me. Yeah, whenever you show up, I'll read whatever comment you were gonna say, or I'll follow you, or I'll message you. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, that's funny. I hope that next year or the rest of this year will be better than what it's been the last few days. You said trolls freak you out. I'm probably gonna end the stream in like 10 minutes. So yeah, if you guys want to talk about anything for the next few minutes, let me know. I don't want to make the stream extra long. I have to go watch this again. Well, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow morning whenever the live chat is up, so I can see the messages that I missed. Did you find me yet, Giggles? You can just follow me on Twitter, and then I can message you. So yeah, this stream was mostly just me telling stories from what it looks like and having some conversations with Giggles and High Caliber. Oh, it's so sad how you try to be good to people and love people and be kind to people, and they backstab you. And they blame you for their problems. Giggles, tell me if you ever had this happen. Somebody blamed you for their problems that they had before they met you. Has that ever happened to you? Where somebody was blaming you for the things that have happened to them, even though you had nothing to do with it, and they had those problems when you met them? Because I've had that happen to me a few times. And I'm like, how am I responsible for the problems you already had? Why are you blaming me? But, you know, some people are unreasonable. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I'll look for you, but if you don't follow me or if you don't contact me there, then I'm just gonna assume that you you went somewhere and said F it. But yeah, this year, man. Last year, you know, it's funny. Last year, towards the end of the year, I was like, man, 2022 is gonna be my year. I was so certain that 2022 was going to be the best year of my life. I was certain of it. And it started off great because before and it was mostly because of my YouTube channel, but before last year, right around this time, I had like 80 or 90 subs in December. And I was like, I can't wait, you know, to really grow my channel. In the beginning of 2022, my channel was blowing up. Not this channel, but my original Real Truth channel. And I was just getting subs after subs. I was making videos. I was enjoying what I was talking about. And then somebody showed up and they dropped a nuke on me. Let's just say that. And then other people showed up and there were more nukes dropped. But it is what it is. All I know is I should have been more careful with the people I let into my life. Let's just say that. I let too many people get too close to me. That's that's pretty messed up. Giggles. I'm sorry to hear that. That doesn't sound like somebody you should be around, to be honest. If he's physically abusing you, he should be in jail. I don't believe in a man hitting a woman for any reason. So if this dude is hitting you, then he needs to be in jail. I don't know. You do what you want to. That's your life, but that's very bad. That's all I can say. I'm not going to comment too much other than that's bad. Brian Moore said, "Hey, sorry, was messing with some music. I hope you check out that vid, my friend. Take care. Hit me up if you'd like to know more about video. Call you again." I appreciate you stopping by, Brian. I really do, man. I'm glad you showed up, bro. And I will definitely be talking to you about that video. And I'm gonna look at it, and I might make a video talking about what you send me, so that way I can get that information out to other people. But I do appreciate you sharing that with me. And if there's anything else you want to share, you know where to find me. That's the whole point of this channel too, right? I don't want to just talk about me. I want to talk about other people and their experiences and their truth too, right? And I love listening to people tell me stories, especially supernatural stuff or showing me supernatural stuff. Giggles, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you other than maybe he shouldn't be your boyfriend. Maybe you should get away from him. Find a way, get a restraining order. I don't really know what to tell you. I know it gets crazy because I don't know your boyfriend. I don't know how he is, but if he's a crazy dude, and it can get real dangerous. If he's already physically doing that to you, that's way over the line. Like, I don't know. I don't like hearing that. It bothers me. It really does. Yeah, I don't condone men hitting women for any reason. I don't care. Unless there really is no reason. I mean, unless somebody's trying to kill you, then obviously you got to defend yourself. But you don't strike me as the kind of person that is violent or that you would be trying to hurt him in any way. So it just sounds like he's just hitting you to hit you. And I don't like that at all. I would say more, but YouTube would probably ban me if I said the things that I want to say. So I can't say too much more than that, but I could talk to you more about it on Twitter or somewhere else. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, just find me later, Giggles, all right? You can find me on Twitter and we'll talk more if you want. But I'm about to shut this down. Unless anybody else wants to talk about anything. I don't want to leave without anybody. Anybody else want to say anything before I shut it down? Because, I've shut it down early before and I felt bad about it. There were people that wanted to talk about stuff and I didn't want to do that. So does anybody want to talk about anything before I shut it down? I'm all ears. I got another 5 minutes. Or if nobody says anything, I'll just shut it down. All right, I think I'm going to end it. I do appreciate you all showing up. Giggles, we can talk more about that subject somewhere else if you want to. It's up to you. It's your business, but if you want to share, I'm open to hearing. And yeah, thank you all for coming by. It was half and half, right? I had fun, but certain things I didn't like what Giggles just told me, or the way I started the stream was pretty negative because I was destroyed. But anyways, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Giggle said, I live on a fixed income. He does everything he can to keep me down. Yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm like some knight in shining armor or I'm like the best guy because I have my own faults, right? I'm not the best guy out there. I'm going to tell you the truth. But hitting a woman that's just the worst of the worst to me. I mean, there's only one thing that I can think of that is worse than that. And I think you know what that would be. But I'm not going to say that either. But yeah, we can talk about it. And thank you guys for showing up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.